Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bourbon Bar. I'm Holden. I am on my phone because I have to pull this up and make sure my audio is all right. Ooh, that doesn't look good, does it? I was trying to fix something today, and it didn't quite fix it. So I'm sorry about that. But Hanging AZ is in the house. Hey, Hanging AZ, how you doing? I am going to switch this. Hopefully, this doesn't mess anything up. Is that better? I don't know. You guys tell me. Do you think that's better? It still kind of looks weird. Why does it look like that? Oh, hold on. That's because I had the super chat up. You know what, guys? I just I know you guys have been saying I've been looking short and fat recently, so I was trying to get that fixed here. No, yeah, that definitely doesn't do it. Bear with me for a second here, guys. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm gonna run it like this, and then that's just gonna have to do for now until I can figure out a better way. Honestly, I'm gonna try to get it so I can use my phone on the live stream. That would be ideal, but I don't really know how to do it. I don't know how to get to use the phone on live stream through StreamYard, if you know what I mean. If I had 1,000 subscribers, I could live stream from my phone, like on the YouTube app, but I don't. And I also would want the StreamYard because that's kind of where I use to talk to you guys and look at your comments and click on them so that they're highlighted right there. So yeah, but yeah, Hanging AZ kind of blurry. He says, honestly, man, it's probably just because my camera's absolute garbo, but but thanks for reminding me. Yeah, I mean, it'll get better in the future, but anyway, all right, everybody. Today we are going to be doing, and by we I mean me for now. Lauren will be joining shortly. She her schedule's somewhat changed, so she's going to have to. She might be running a little bit late from work now and then, occasionally, but she is going to be stopping in and joining the stream once she gets here. So, but basically today I'm going to be working my way through basically a bunch of different kind of finished bourbons and maybe even a rye or two. But basically, I want to see what's the best way to finish a bourbon. You know, we have double barrels, we have French oak stave finished, and we have wine finish. So there's a lot of different ways that bourbon can be finished. I just want to figure out which one is the best, and I kind of been thinking about it, and I was thinking maybe I'll do, and because they're so different flavor profile wise that I don't want to do my favorite because I obviously have a tendency to like things that are a little bit on the sweeter side, and a little bit like candy and like chocolate and dark sweetness. But a lot of these other ones, like a French oak staves, I usually get a little bit more of like a creamier, florally vanilla-y, and then obviously the wine is obviously more fruit forward. So rather than doing my personal favorite in a blind, I'm just going to kind of taste them, compare the differences, see what kind of elements do the finish adds to it. Like obviously I have the Woodford Double Oak, so I'll be able to tell you guys what kind of additional flavors I think the Double Oak is adding compared to this Penelope being French oak staves. What I think it would, I think the French oak staves are actually adding to this, and then obviously a wine finish one. I got a couple different bottles I'm gonna be drinking here. So, anyways, he says, do you think that distillers use their worst barrels to be finished? That is a wonderful question. Honestly, yes and no. I think that they don't use their worst barrels to finish. I think that some of them obviously are going to be the worst barrels, but I think they blend them with some of their better stuff. Obviously, I don't think they're going to put out like their worst of the worst. They're either going to let it sit in the barrel for longer, or yes, try to finish it, or blend it into some other batches because they're going to have to make it go away somehow. But I don't think they would waste the time and resources to put it in a whole new barrel and let it age longer in a new barrel, finishing it with the chance that it doesn't get any better. I think maybe there's occasions where they taste it and it's bad, but they think that adding flavors to it would help it. I think that's a possibility. However, I don't think that the actual uh, purpose of the finishing usually comes from them being bad barrels. So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get right into this. I'm going to start with everyone's favorite, the classic Woodford Double Oak. And honestly, it's been a while since I've drank this out of a Glen. I've put it in my like like a sample bottle and brought it on the golf course a few times. Kind of like a flask, but I don't like using the metal flasks because they're kind of they can ruin the whiskey sometimes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pour this in Glen and just kind of get right into this here. I am getting a text from the missus, so we'll see how close she is. All right, she'll probably be here in like 10 minutes or so, maybe less. But that being said, yeah, okay. Back on track. That being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get into this Woodford and basically my understanding with these double barrels, and I will pull down this EC toasted barrel as well because I think that is a very good expression of the double barreling aspect. I think they both are. I think the Woodford tends to get a little bit more sweet, whereas the Elijah Craig kind of keeps that like dark oaky tones that normal Elijah Craig has, but also adds a little bit of something extra. But yeah, toasted barrels are double oaked. They're all basically the same. They get finished in a second oak barrel. As you guys know, bourbon is finished in new oak barrels, and so what they do when they're toasted oak or double oaked is they'll put it in a second new charred oak barrel. Hey, Z says you need Wild Turkey 101 or OGG bib for a flask whiskey. Yes, I do. I do use the Wild Turkey sometimes for flask whiskey, but when I'm golfing sometimes and it's like 90, 95 degrees and like I'm sweating my ass off, I usually go for the Woodford just because it's like a lot lighter and sweeter and like easier to drink. I think the drinkability of it is a huge thing, especially in the hot summer heat when I'm golfing and stuff. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and get right into this Woodford Double Oak here. Yeah, so it is sweet. It's a lot sweeter than I remember, to be honest, since the last time that I drank Woodford Double Oak. Like I said, last time I didn't drink it out of a Glen. I didn't really get to smell it and nose it the way I like to do. But this smells pretty fantastic. It definitely has kind of like a little bit of a funk in it that I'm not sure if that's like a Woodford funk or that comes from the double oaking. I know normal Woodford kind of has a little bit of a funk to it, in my opinion. I know it's not a popular opinion. Oh, look who it is. But, you joining us here?
Just come to watch.
Come to watch. That's not nice. Get a partake. Although she looks like she has a glass of wine in her hand, so she's going to be drinking a little bit of mulled wine, I think, what she planned on drinking tonight. I will scooch over for you. Got room?
You don't want to sit next to me?
Well, I just want you to be visible, not stuck behind these bottles over here. I was just telling them I was drinking.
I know, I could hear you.
Okay. But Haney and I were talking about flask whiskey, and I was just basically saying in summer I kind of gravitate toward yeah.
Do I need a move?
No, we're good. In summer I kind of gravitate more toward the sweeter, lighter whiskeys rather than like a Wild Turkey.
Do you use the flask I got you?
I don't use a flask.
You just got
a sample bottle.
Oh.
No, I use a sample bottle. I like the glass because it's not as cool. It really isn't as cool. But the
Want to taste my wine? Oh,
sure.
It's fuzzy in me. It's okay. It's extra flavor.
Okay. I don't know what I was saying. You got me confused with the fuzzy in your wine. The flask. A metal flask sometimes can ruin the whiskey. It'll like deteriorate on the inside and like turn it black and like not nice. Plus, like washing them is like a whole thing. Like when you wash a flask, you have to like, it's a pain because then you have to dry it. Like how do you dry a flask? You gotta like hold it upside down and just try to let it dry out rather than sitting with
They
water
probably
in
have
it.
tools.
Maybe. I don't know. Flasks are just hard in general.
When did you do that?
Oh, I wanted it to be darker in here. I did it.
Oh.
I've added curtains to. We had blinds. They still had some of the light in, so I added curtains to it. Because I wanted it to be darker in here. That way I can try to like fix my lighting better. But until I get a better camera to do these lives on, it's gonna basically be
Short, fat, and funny looking.
yeah. I don't know why we're so short and fat.
Are we?
I don't know if we are.
It doesn't look short and fat today.
But the thing is, when you put it to the side,
Yeah, it looks fine.
yeah, we're just really blurry. And I'm sorry about that, guys. I honestly wish that I had a better camera. I really do. But Hang Easy says Larceny Regular would be a good hot weather flasker. Yeah, I love the normal Larceny. I didn't even try any whiskey yet. But I'm gonna tell them what this is before I try it. So somebody finish talking.
It's been
I know.
minutes. You're wasting
Well, I know.
time.
I'm just hanging out with Hanging AZ. We were chatting.
Hanging with
Hanging. But yeah, no, I love Larceny, like the normal one. I haven't had it in a long time, but it is really, really good. Before I get into this whiskey, I'm gonna try Lauren's wine. It's a mulled wine, right? Yeah, it's a mulled wine, so it's warm and it's like a Halloween. What's it called? Halloween.
Halloweenies.
Yeah, that's nice.
Nice.
It's light. Hey, Lazy said I got a Stanley Industrial Strength flask. Awesome. Really?
I got your flask for cheapo.
Yeah, it was a cheap one that she got me, which it's really cool because I was like golf tees and like leather on it and stuff like that. It's just not the flask I want to put whiskey in because I know that it'll tarnish the whiskey and turn it black. The finish will probably rub off and it'll be oily and gross. And yeah, that's what, like a glass flask. I would love a glass flask. But we're going to go ahead and get right into this. I've been smelling it. That's why I hadn't drank it yet. But yeah, it smells great. It's got a little bit of like maple syrupy brown sugar sweetness. Lots of oak on it, obviously being a double oaked. But we're going to go right into the palate.
Oh, nice. I was just sending Holden ideas for Groomsmen Gifts, and they were along the same ideas.
This is literally so sweet. It's always a drink. I have my Groomsmen Gift over here. Right there.
Oh, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, my brother is also getting married very soon, and he asked me to be a groomsman. Got me this awesome knife. It's got my name carved into it, with their wedding date, obviously. But it's like the Game of Thrones script or writing or whatever font. That's what I was trying to think of. But yeah, really cool knife. So I keep that here in the bar for if ever I need to cut open like a bottle or something. It's always good to have a knife on hand. Hey, asked any chocolate on that nose. I don't know about the nose. Well, yeah, I could see a little bit of chocolate, but on the palate, on the finish, I definitely had a lot of like palate or chocolate on the finish. Like it was like really sweet up front, then on the finish, kind of left like a darker, drier sweetness, like basically chocolate. But we're gonna go ahead and compare it side by side against this Elijah Craig. Now, the Elijah Craig usually has a lot more oak to it. Just Elijah Craig in general usually has a lot more oak to it. And I remember this one having a bit more spice to it as well. So, and a little bit more fruit to it. That's interesting one. Woodford really, with this double oaked product, really has not a whole lot of fruit at all, actually. It's really just like molasses, brown sugar sweetness. It's got like a maple syrupy, chocolate on the finish, and oak. Really a lot. But this one right away on the nose, I'm getting like a little bit of fruit there with the oak coming through on it. And a little bit of like it still has that like super sweet, like viscous. You can definitely tell it's a double oak product, but here, go ahead and try this one. You like this one, right? I think I know I gave this one to Lauren one time, and she liked it a lot. Want to try it at all?
No, I have my one.
Okay, but you smelled it?
Yeah.
I'll smell this one.
That one smells like marshmallow.
This one? This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet marshmallows. She said toasted marshmallows, which a lot of people get on it. Marshmallow is kind of like a weird note for me because like I can understand when people say marshmallow. It's just something I never really think of when I smell something. Probably because I don't eat a lot of them. I do love marshmallows, but I just don't eat a lot of them. I think AZ says I don't get much fruit on Woodford, more of a dessert flavor. Yeah, exactly. So you kind of understand. It's just like a darker sweetness, whereas this kind of has a little bit of fruit mixed in there with the toastedness, which is pleasant. Also, this ECTB is 94 proof, and the Woodford is only 90.4 proof. Right? Yeah.
Mm.
So this is 4 proof higher, but that's like pins or what's the saying? How does the saying go?
Ass hairs.
Ass hairs? No.
I don't know.
Splitting hairs. That's splitting hairs. Not ass hairs. Come on.
Someone would say like something about how that's like
splitting hairs.
No, like that are
My goodness. But anyway.
I swear someone would always say, I don't remember, I want to say it was my mom. She'll always say like something like it's like thinner than one of my ass hairs.
Jesus. Okay, so yeah, this one actually has a lot more of like a cinnamon on the palate, like a sweet fruitiness, cinnamon, and like that like I said, the double oak is still there, but it's not quite, there. Hangman Z says an ass hair from center. Oh well. Yeah. Exactly. But
sorry, I'm turning this to get weird.
Yeah. All right. I think now we kind of have the understanding of the Woodford Double Oak, and I'm going to go ahead and pour this Penelope Architect into a new glass because this is a French oak stave finished bourbon, and I honestly love it. I think that the French oak is doing wonders in here. And a common theme that I'm noticing with myself is that I really love a French oak stave finished product. I have the Maker's Mark FAE02. It's delicious. If I find a BRT01 and 2, I'll probably buy both of them maybe. We'll see what kind of stuff I find and how much money I have. But Top Shelf Dustin says, what did I tune in for? Well, honestly, ass hairs. Talking about splitting ass hairs between these whiskeys, but thanks for stopping in. Cheers to you. Yeah, it's already a rowdy one. Lauren's kind of got her mind in the gutter, don't you?
Look it, okay. I worked all day long, and then I came home and I pooped, and I had a nice glass of wine. I don't understand what about that. I'm the one that has my mind in the gutter. You're the one drinking all this alcohol.
Have you eaten supper yet? Have you eaten anything yet today?
I did.
Oh, okay. Anyway.
I didn't eat supper.
Speaking of squatch asses, hairy man, fall now, swamp ass is more of a summer fashion. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
They're discontinued.
You just can't wear khakis too long in the summer if it's too hot of a day because then them khakis are gonna get some.
Do women have this problem too?
I don't know. Do women have swass?
I don't sweat. I can't tell you. That's what I'm asking.
I don't know. I get some swass.
Did you ever look at a woman's butt and she had a sweat stain on her crack?
No.
Okay, well then maybe that's the answer.
But to be fair, you're not always looking at every girl's butt. There's a time and a place for checking out a girl, and you're not sweating your ass off at the golf course and Are
you checking women out at the golf course?
That's what I'm saying. You're not just looking at girls' butts at the golf course. So I wouldn't know.
You really
but that's
took a hot second to answer there, sir.
What I'm saying is the normal place that I get some swamp ass, it is definitely the golf course. I'd say that's probably the warmest and sweatiest I usually get. Apart from any extracurricular activities taking place in the home. Talking about golf courses already. I actually got some good walking exercise in, and he asked if He's on the golf course, and then he says, "Women dress much more lightly than men do in the summer." That's absolutely true. First of all, you can't get swass in skirts, or dresses, or even sometimes like their booty shorts. Like that material, like it just doesn't. You don't really get swass, but like that thick khaki material from like khaki shorts. Yeah,
You
you're
don't
getting
wear
some.
thick material shorts though.
Well, I know, but even
You wear
like
thin stuff. Your stuff
even
might as well be a skirt.
well, yeah, but even like I do have one pair that's like a khaki like cargo shorts, and they're thicker, and they definitely can get you some swass. Top Shelf Dustin says, "I can assure you, I look at girls' butts all places and contexts. Not sure I'm getting up close and looking for sweat stains." That's true. You almost don't want to see the sweat stains at that point. It's like a little bit of a glisten is nice.
I'll tell you what, if I looked at a guy's ass, the first thing I'm looking for is if there's some nasty shit going on, because then I'm just gonna stop looking.
Why are you looking at guys' asses?
I looked at yours.
Can you put your...
No, I'm comfortable.
I'm not.
You're pushing me away.
Hey, Nazy said I hiked today. It was only 69 degrees Fahrenheit out when I left this morning. Very pleasant.
Oh, 69.
Nice. But no, yeah, today was...
What was the temperature when you left the house this morning?
Today was really nice out
It was like
during the day.
Yeah.
But when I left this morning, it had to have been like 40s. It was cold. I mean, I was cold.
Well,
the car
today
had
was
frost
the last
on
day
it.
of...
Or not frost, actually. It was
mine always
condensation.
Mine always
but like it stays there for a while.
Today was the last day of warm weather. This is like the last 70-degree day.
Okay.
Tomorrow and Thursday it's supposed to be really
cold. We went and took fall pictures this past weekend, and it was supposed to be like 65 and like nice out.
Partly cloudy.
Partly
no
cloudy.
Wind.
Yeah.
The fuckers lied.
Yeah, basically it was. What was the actual temperature? It was like 50s.
No, it was like 60, but the
Really?
wind was so strong.
Oh my gosh!
There was like 20 miles
The wind
per
was
hour
so
wind.
bad. It was like
cold.
bone chilling. It just cut right through you. It was horrible. Dustin says I had to wear a suit and tie. Ooh, when I had to wear a suit and tie. Great song. My female coworkers were rocking short sleeves and dresses. Not fair. You're absolutely right. That is not fair. Ventilation is key. It's genetic. You just look. It's hunter-gatherer stuff. Yeah, and see, checking out people's butts is just genetics.
You
just
yelled at
look
me
them.
for looking at people.
Anyway, if there's a tramp stamp visible, it'll make you look. And Top Shelf Dustin says he's gonna look away if he sees a tramp stamp. Not sure why, because that usually means they're down for a good time, especially the one that says Boner Garage with a little arrow.
What is wrong with you?
I'm just saying.
Did you forget to like talk to Jesus this morning or something?
But anyway,
Let's get back to the whiskey.
Back to the whiskey. Weird. Well, you're the one who made this weird. Anyway, we're moving on to the Penelope, which is a bottle that I haven't poured in like a little while. This is because I've been getting some new bottles recently, but I love this stuff, and it is a French oak stave. This one comes in at 104 proof. That's 52% alcohol. This is the Architect Blend 1. I think they have the Blend 3 at a local liquor store that I go to, but I'm saving my money for the overly expensive bourbons that I'm probably not going to find this winter, but if I can find them, I'm just super excited to get them. So can't be spending all my money on this stuff when I know that Wild Turkey Unforgotten is out there somewhere. But on the nose, immediately lighter, more vanilla, and like cream, and like almost like florally, like a perfumey in a really nice way. It smells really nice. Like I like it a lot.
It's not very strong.
Also has a little bit of like caramel and stuff, but overall like that like very rich, creamy aspects coming through on this one, along with like that floraliness that I think the white staves might have something to do with it. There is a flavor wheel or whatever you want to call it on the back of this bottle, pointing out all the differences that the French oak added to the experience. I'm gonna go ahead and take a sip of this before I get into that, but it's pretty wild the amount that just adding French oak staves can change this and like make it so much more well-rounded. Mm-hmm. The dotted line is the original before they finished it with white oak, and the solid white line is
they're literally just telling you that they just made everything better.
I know it did make everything better.
Well, yeah, but I feel like that's like.
But listen, it didn't necessarily make everything better because You can see the fruit on the nose didn't really change, and even the fruit on the palate didn't really change. But adding the French oak added a lot more stuff. But we'll get into that. Don't rush me, okay? We gotta get it on the palate first, and let you guys know how it is on the palate. Ooh, yeah, okay. It's like just I don't know what it is about it, but like it. I'm a much dark note bourbon kind of guy, but every time I drink this one, I literally can't like talk about how much I enjoy it. I'm sorry, but I can't like sit like
I'm not
this
gonna
on
sit
my
by you anymore.
my hip is gonna blow out. I'm an old man. Anyway.
You're not. No. Unless you become my sugar daddy, you don't get to be an old man.
Hey, what if I
Neither
go
of those
bald?
things.
You know what she told me the other day? And I'm sorry, guys, that I'm getting sidetracked. The other day,
Okay, you don't
she's
need to
like,
share this with people. They're gonna think I'm weird.
she said, I like bald guys. And then she said, I also don't mind like a bigger guy, like a chunkier guy. But then she's like, but you can't be bald and chunky because I don't think that's as attractive because of there's a football coach on TV and he was like a bigger guy, but he was bald. And she's just like, see, I don't like that because his head is too big when he's a bigger guy and he's bald. But like,
people are gonna cancel you for thinking that you're like marrying this crazy bitch who has problems with bigger people or bald people.
I literally just got them saying you don't have a problem with either as long as it's separate. Basically, I just can't get really. I can't let myself go and get bald.
Should we say what you say about people? Yeah, we can't because we can't.
I like a girl in shape. That's what I say. There's nothing wrong with that.
Let's just end
if
here.
I'm gonna go to the gym,
need to bring up this
listen. If I'm gonna,
basically, I think Mr. Clean is hot. Let's move on.
And basically, if I'm gonna go to the gym 6 days a week, and I'm not gonna date a girl who doesn't want to like
First of all, I don't
healthy.
go to the gym.
But yeah, but you're in shape.
I don't eat healthy. The only reason I eat healthy is because you force me to.
But you're in shape. If you got out of shape, you would go to the gym. You've said that.
I might be too lazy.
Anyway, short rant over. We're drinking the Penelope Architect. It's fantastic. Palate offers a lot of that like floraliness, a little bit of like a rye spice in there as well, some caramel, and a lot of like cream and vanilla. But basically, what's going on with this French oak stave, and I don't know if you guys can, how well you guys can see that like more jagged line in the middle of the circle. That is what the control whiskey had. That's the whiskey before they added the French oak stave finished. And the white line on the outside, as you can see, is much more round. And that is all the flavor notes that from after the French oak stave's finished. And basically, the fruit on this bottle was there, is what it's saying here. The fruit on the bottle didn't really change much. The most drastic note or changes was the oak perception on the nose and the toastedness. And those both like went from almost non-existent in the original blend all the way to like like I said, it was almost a circle, an equal. So it was almost equal. So those two got the biggest jump. It did have a lot of spice, oak integration, and the structure and persistency, which I don't know what persistency is supposed to mean in bourbon.
Like
probably
persistent.
How much it stands out, or how long it stays. Probably like the finish.
Yeah, it could be
probably
that,
the finish.
or like if it's always the same every time you drink it. It's like if you're not like going in like a wild card.
Yeah, I don't know. But those, I mean, they jumped up, but they weren't quite. I mean, they only jumped up a little bit. So they're kind of at. Let's see. The scale says they're kind of at a 2 to 2.5 on the scale, and they bumped up to like a 4. Whereas the oak perception on the nose and the toastedness of it, that jumped from a 1 to a 4. So yeah, there's a much larger jump in those ones. But basically, this French oak stave, at least in this particular blend, added a lot more of like the vanilla, and the vanilla jumped up quite a lot too. So the vanilla toasted and oak perception is definitely jumping up. But overall, this kind of added, like I said, a lot more of that like light those lighter notes, like the vanilla and spices and like florally stuff, along with a little bit of oak, and the structure helps. So I think this is kind of one of those things that has more to offer than just a double barreling, because a double barreling is almost just redoing what already makes bourbon special, and that's, an oak barrel. And the thing about bourbon is there's so many laws behind it that the experimenting is a lot more strict. So the double barreling, you're just taking an oak barrel and adding another oak barrel. So it basically takes that bourbon profile and adds bourbon profile. It's like finishing bourbon in a bourbon barrel, basically. But adding the French oak adds an element that you don't see in other bourbons, and that really allows it to like shine and like stand out a bit more. So that's just kind of my 2 cents on that whole stitch. I could go back and catch up on these comments because Hanging AZ said open for business, talking about the tramp stamps. Exactly, open for business. And then I love Anne. Well, I won't finish it, but that was the most interesting tramp stamp I've ever seen. I love Anne.
Big cock.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, it wouldn't be Anne if it was big cock. It would have to be a vowel.
Oh, I love anal.
Oh, that makes more sense.
I'm glad I could clear things up for you.
Yeah.
You should get that tramp.
Oh my god. Please don't. It's not even true.
I'm sorry, it was just a joke. I thought it was going to be funny.
Yeah, you thought it was going to be funny, but now the entire internet thinks that you love anal.
They're the one that talked about it in the first place. Gosh, we're just going to delete this after.
But pretty sure you have to see a doctor after that with her. I'm not a tattoo guy. No tattoo is the new tattoo.
I have no tattoos.
You what?
I have no tattoos.
I have no tattoos either.
I was going to get a tattoo, but I was too scared. And then I got a nose piercing instead. And then I was allergic to nose piercings. And I'm like really scared I'm going to get like, shouldn't get a tattoo.
Yeah, she has sensitive skin. I would get a tattoo. It would be something simple. Definitely wouldn't be. What?
When we first met, you went on about how you were going to get like a lion thing all over your whole body. And I was like, oh God, I'm going to leave you when you get that.
No, I said it would be cool, but it's such a cliche. And like, I didn't want to be one of those guys. Like if I got something, I'll maybe get something on the forearm.
Right here, like a
or
heart. And put
yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But like I would get something on the arm, maybe like something on the shoulder.
Else?
But I definitely didn't work hard trying to get like a gym physique to ruin it by covering it all in tattoos and not being able to see my progress. So,
but if you got them in all the right spots, they'd be like
that's what I mean.
Tours,
a lot of,
and then it would be like really big.
A lot of bodybuilder guys, they'll get it on their forearms because that's like kind of the one spot on a bodybuilder that you really can't really grow and show off because it really just is like muscular and bigness, but it's not like the abs or the pecs or the delts where it's like you want to see the striations in it, or even like the bis and tris. Like those all show striations in the muscles when you're like a bodybuilder, but the forearm is just kind of the forearm. It's just big and meaty. What?
I don't know. I like zoned out for like 5 minutes. You're still talking about your forearm.
I'm just talking about tattoos. Damn. Top Shelf Dustin says, yeah, I am not down with tattoos either. Hanging AZ would try those, but I am not drinking any GD Makers 46.
You were talking about that one.
He would try the French oak
stick.
Yeah, French oak finish. Because Makers 46 is French oak staves, but it's hit or miss with some people. I honestly like it. I think Makers 46 is.
How many bourbons have you had where you genuinely like don't like it though?
It's a good point. I mean, a few, but not like.
Not even like to the point where you'd even go around saying that you dislike it. You just.
It is what they're just not as good as other good ones.
It's just like I have that bottle, I just don't open it as often.
Right, exactly.
I've never heard you say that you. I mean, except for that one, but you tried it the first time on your video and you didn't like it, but then you did it again and now you liked it.
Well, I didn't yeah, it was actually the Rebel Cast Strength. I did my review on it.
Dislike it. You had like a blooper that's talking about how it tastes like if someone like shit in the yard and put dirt on your face.
I did?
Yeah. It's in the beginning of the video. Like you really didn't like it.
Well, apparently, I don't know.
You're just in shock.
It's funny because that's the Rebel cast strength, which a lot of people really like. And I opened it. I thought it was heinous. I really didn't like it that much. Turns out it just needed to open up. Like it was really just like that particular bottle was one of the worst experiences I had with like a neck pour where I had opened it and I tried drinking it like 3 times. And all 3 times I just couldn't like it. And then all of a sudden I retried it like probably 3 months later, and it tasted yummy. I mean, it tasted like pecans or something, some kind of nut.
Pickens.
But yeah, Hey he says I hate 46 like Bourbon Neo hates Long Branch. Well, maybe I should pull out the Maker's 46. I kind of forgot that I had that, but that's like a great example of like a mainstay French oak stay finish. So I'm just gonna grab it quick since Hangin' AZ's talking about it because I know how much Hangin' AZ loves it now, and so I think I'll drink it for him. But I really enjoy that Penelope Architect. Honestly, guys, if you guys don't get Penelope Architect or you don't have it, but you see it in stores, I highly recommend giving it a try because it's delicious. Honestly, it really is. I haven't had Maker's 46 in literally a very long time. Like a really long time.
That's your first bottle of it, isn't it?
This is my first bottle of it, and it's right there. This is one of my first loves, actually. Like
the first time he had it, he was just like, "Oh my god!" It was in a flight, remember?
Yeah, I had a beginner bourbon flight, or
no, it was
the poor man's antique flight. Yeah, because they have an antique flight that's got like George T. Stagg and like other things in it. Weller 12, Pappy 10, Old Rip or whatever, and William Maru Weller is in it. Anyway.
That one's like $160. It's
like $160. So they also have one called the Poor Man's Antique Flight, and it had Maker's 46 in it, and it also had Redemption Weeded and Rebel Yell. And I loved them all, but this one really stood out to me.
Did you just do the Bieber hair flip?
I've been doing it a lot recently, just because like my hair is so long, and like it really gets in my eyes, like.
Would you want me to get a clip?
No.
I think you're doing it the wrong direction. Yeah, you gotta do it the other way.
Which way? This way?
That way. There you go.
Oh, I'm such a tool. Anyway,
it'll be cut one day. Just not
now. She's okay with separate.
It's because you told everyone that I don't like people, and he's putting himself in that category. Oh. See, I told you it hurts someone's feelings. Gosh.
No feelings hurt. I love a big bald man. Honestly, I think being bald.
Is Santa bald?
No.
Or does Santa have like
Wait.
Head? He has a beard, but does he have head hair, or is he bald under that hat? Because
I don't know. We can pull up a picture of Santa.
I can pull up a picture.
I can pull it off for them to see.
Santa Claus.
But honestly, though, it's my personal opinion that just like depending on the person, because some people are just scary bald. But
he might be bald right here.
Some people are just scary bald, but I don't know. Oh, he's got hair in that one, but not that one. Some people are scary bald, but a majority of people, when they go bald, like they just look like their manliness scale goes like up. Like I don't know why, but just something about being bald. Maybe get a little bit of like facial hair, and then like, just look a little bit more like
so shiny too, and it's like
they automatically look skinnier too, and like buffer. Maybe it's like The Rock and Vin Diesel. They just like stuck it in all of our heads that bald guys are just automatically ripped, or just strong.
Bald?
Mr. Clean.
Yeah, Mr. Clean.
That one guy from all the pornos. I forget what his name is.
Okay, you need to get off porno sites.
I'm not on what? I don't. Yeah. Anyway, I'm done looking up Santa, so I'm not gonna even bother showing you guys. But yeah, Hangman Z says Talk to the hand, Holden.
That's when you were offending me.
Ah! Whoops. I haven't been on a bike in 25 years and in my 30s. I want to go biking. I really do. I want to get a bike. Peter White's in the chat. Cheers, Peter. Thanks for stopping in. Sugar Kitty. Sugar Kitty is here. Cheers to you. Thanks for coming in.
Oh my
here.
gosh.
What?
I thought of Sugar Kitty today.
You thought of Sugar Kitty today?
Yeah, because I was at a house and a cat licked me.
I think that's profiling. You just assume all kitties are Sugar Kitty?
Like the one in this picture.
Oh. Okay, well, maybe he ran up here. Might not be demanded I hear his $3,000 sound system and his $1,500 Civic. I mean, if your windows aren't shaking because your sound system's so good, then I don't know. I don't know what's up with you. I have a friend who just is just about to blow $4,000 on a custom sound system in his truck, and it's literally he has to take out the back seats of a brand new truck because the sound system's that big. Dylan. He's just one of those guys, though. To be fair, I might like the Cask 46. Honestly, the Cask 46, I think, from what I've heard, the thing is, all the makers, like the FEE02 and the BRT01 and 2, those are just different stave profiles of Maker's 46 cask strength. And any kind of single barrel, it's just what it is. It's really just a cask strength, French oak stave finished bourbon. And that's what this is, just not in cask strength, which is why I'm diving into it here to kind of really lock down that profile of the French oak staves. It is definitely more florally, but it does have this one particularly has a lot of cherries on it. So what these two really have in common are fruitiness, a fruity aspect that you're getting with both of them. But this Maker's 46 is almost an outlier just because it's it really has fruity, but then it has some cinnamon and chocolate as well.
Oh, you know what that sounds like?
What? Ooh, her mulled wine.
It's not warm anymore. I'm actually don't understand how they keep it so warm when you go to the place. But when I put it in the microwave, it gets
You drink it for 2 seconds, that's why.
No, because it takes me a while because I'm going to savor it.
Hey, Maisie said I like cheap ass Rebel 100. Yeah, I think Rebel 100 is a good bottle. I think that's what it actually was when I had it. It was Rebel 100, or it was Rebel Yell 100, and then they switched it to Rebel, just Rebel. Not sure why they did that. But CNSA Crush said, is that a Yellowstone limited on yourself to the end on your left? It absolutely is. You wanna grab that for me? I mean, I'll grab it.
No.
Oh, she's gonna do it. But yes, Mr. Crush. Yes. Yes, Mr. Crush. That is a Yellowstone. You got it? Please don't drop all that. That's a really expensive shelf. I was gonna pull this down anyway later because it is a wine finished. But yes, the Marsala Superiore finished Yellowstone 2022. That's a great bottle. Thanks for pointing it out because I will be drinking it when I'm drinking the wine finish stuff, because the only other wine finish I do have Angel's Envy, which isn't a super potent wine finish. But I have the Burning Chair, that's cask strength. So I wanted something a little bit closer to the rest of these bottles for comparison purposes. Peter White says having a rabbit hole, Derringer, sherry finish, not too bad.
Nice.
That does sound really nice. I've never had any of the rabbit holes. I see them a lot on shelf, but I can't bring myself to buy them. I don't know if it's the price or just because they're not super popular. I usually tend to go for whiskeys that I know I'll like because I'm broke, basically. If I could, I really would love to just buy a bottle that I've never tried before and haven't heard anything about, but unfortunately, I don't have enough money for that. I really gotta like speed up and catch up on these comments so I can
Holy cow!
be talking
Bourbon.
live to everybody. But Hank Z says that is the old bottle. I still have, or I had the new bottle, the new poo bottle. So this is the old bottle. I didn't have the new one. I almost wonder if I should get a new bottle and do a side-by-side comparison in like a triple threat, like 2 of one and 1 of the other, kind of the way everyone does, and see if I can determine if they're the same juice or if one's better. So if you've never had this one, maybe it is different and that this one's good and the new ones are as good. But also, I do remember this having to open up for a while in order for me to get the same flavor that I had when I tried it in the bar. How you feeling, Sugar Kitty? He is getting better each day. I'm glad to hear that. Santa has hair hanging, as he says. Scary bald, question mark? Bald dudes usually have higher T levels. Well, yes and no. I mean, sometimes... Okay, well...
It's okay if they just shave it all the way down.
I don't know if...
That's hot, too.
I mean, male pattern baldness is in a lot of people, and technically when you're on steroids and you have male pattern baldness, the steroids can accelerate that, but it's not like if you don't have male pattern baldness already and you take steroids, you're not just going to like lose your hair, so that's a misconception. But I guess I don't really know, apart from just like natural T levels, like I have no idea what that has to do, or how much that correlates with like hair or baldness. Maybe it's just because you were talking about, it's probably just because when we were talking about how bald guys are always ripped.
No, yeah, that's when they started saying that.
Yeah. That's kind of what causes the hair loss. Okay, yeah. So that's what they're talking about. What? What? What did he say?
It was rubbing up on me. It was like if this was my leg, the cat was like, because I had my bag in front of my leg.
Yeah, that was
going
like
it was
this.
like this, and then it came up on my lap, and my hand was like in my lap, so my hands were like this, and it was like, and I was just like, okay.
She's not putting on a show. This is exactly what she acts like when we're not on camera. Just so you guys know. He says, "Do all kitties look the same to you, Lauren?"
No.
Do they, Lauren?
They had a darker one and they had an orange one. They looked different.
Robert Tessier was the scariest bald guy in history. Who the heck?
Hold on.
Robert, no, I'll pull him up.
No, I already looked him up for you.
Oh, okay. Robert Tessier.
Hold on. This guy?
Oh. It's from a movie?
No, Little House on the Prairie, I think.
I loved Little House on the Prairie when I was younger.
I didn't watch it.
It's been a while. It's been a long while.
If a kitty likes you, count your blessings.
If a kitty likes you, count your blessings. You're a lucky woman. Human.
I'm lucky. I don't see no cats licking you, Holden.
Just one. But anyway, I totally read count the wrong way. My bad. I might have gotten a bad bottle of 46. It finished super hot and bitter. Yeah, honestly, I think that's... How long have you had it, and have you tried going back to it? Honestly, get it past like the shoulder, almost down to here, even if you just drain pour it a little bit. And then just leave it open for like a day or something, or just like cap it and then like leave it on the shelf for a couple months. Let it kind of just sit in there and get rid of that neck pour. It might help a lot, because I remember mine being a bit hot as well. And after it opened up, it was fantastic. Stacy H loves the Yellowstone Limited. That's awesome.
Where is she?
Yeah, what the heck? Stacy, where have you been? I don't know where she is. I know. Top Shelf Justin said Rebel Yell had ties to the Confederacy and they wanted to get away from that. Yeah, that's smart marketing. Although...
You know that statue that was in that park in Louisiana? That was a Confederate statue.
Which park? The one in front of
in
front of the church?
Yeah.
St. Louis Cathedral?
Yeah.
What was that park called?
Jackson's.
And it was
Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson.
Which doesn't make any sense because he's... But this... Oh, I guess maybe he would have been before... He would have been before the Civil War.
I don't know.
So.
It's too much thinking for me tonight. But yeah, I mean, marketing team, probably a good thing they were on that. And because now Rebel it's not like Rebel's a bad name. Rebel can be a lot of things and it can be cool.
Just a Rebel.
Peter White says they're a little pricey for 93 proof.
What are we talking about?
We got one made for
No, I don't think so. Are they 94?
What's a little pricey for 93 proof?
What were you drinking at that time?
I've been drinking the Maker's 46 for a while, but it's 94
Is this
proof.
one 93 proof? No.
No.
This is 101 proof. I don't know. We're all lost. That's fine.
Crush says a store has that Yellowstone Limited
does not
for
say
$119. Huh?
Oh, that's Crush. I was looking at the first word. I'm like,
Yeah.
that is massive.
For $119. Not sure if I want to get it.
Well, you got it for $115.
Yeah, $114.99. Honestly, man, if you like what Yellowstone normally does, and you like that kind of like, even if you like kind of the Remus profile, like the Remus is, I think you would really like this Yellowstone. It is really good. The wine finish, the wine cask finish, doesn't overpower it at all. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and get into this one because I'm kind of moving past the French oak stave finish and onto the wine finish. So we'll have a little nip of this one. And yeah, it's kind of got a lot of like those darker notes. It definitely has some like leather and tobacco and caramel, but it also has just a hint of that wine finish Marsala Superiore, like meaty fruitiness, like plummy. It certainly smells good though. But honestly, I guess it's your choice. 119 is just a lot of money. It's nothing to sneer at. If it's gonna put you back and make you skip a couple meals, it's not worth it, honestly. It's because it's just whiskey. But if you have the money to spend and you're looking for a good bottle, that's definitely, it's worth the money. I think it's a fantastic pour. I'm certainly happy that I got it, and I got it for 115. So yeah, honestly, full send if you have the money. Hangnazy Z says, I'm hearing new bottle has younger juice. The new bottle of 46 has younger juice. Yeah, that would make sense. I'd still love to do a side-by-side comparison. I don't know if anyone's done that video. If not, it would be a good video for me to do. But save your money. Most are trash in the new bottle. Big sad. Anything over $100 should be great in my book. Honestly, it's hard for me to tell you if it's great or not great because my experience with the super fantastic bottles is limited. I have Little Book, I have this one, I have the Woodford Batch Proof. Obviously it was fantastic, but in terms of like, I haven't had any of like the really big name ones. No BTAC, none of the Four Roses Limited. Hopefully I get one, fingers crossed. But I haven't had any of those kind of like super limited bottles. Sorry. So it's hard for me to tell you if this one stands up to those ones, but I can tell you is that this one is really good juice. So I definitely don't think you'll be disappointed. Robert Sarah, hockey player, question mark. I killed mine, did give it air, used it for mixer. Okay. Well, sometimes a little spicy one is better in a mixer. Robert Tessera, Longest Yard, Hard Times, The Deep, etc. Paratrooper Korea, Silver Star, Purple Heart.
From the first picture, so
yeah, look up his name in The Longest Yard. Oh, probably the first Longest Yard.
That one?
No, only seen the one with Adam Sandler, but that one's hilarious. Yeah. So like Hey, he says the rumor has it Billy Idol wrote Rebel Yell after drinking Rebel with the Rolling Stones. Derringer. I thought Billy Idol wrote it, lol. The Robert Tessera, he was in many flicks. So I guess we're just uncultured, young people once again. Bubba, what is up with us?
I thought you were an old man.
I am an old man.
He's just out here coming up with multiple plot lines for his life. Okay, I'm uncomfortable.
Top Shelf Dustin says, I dropped $1,100. I don't know if that's a typo.
No, it's $1,100.
Oh my gosh. 1,100. No, I know, but I don't know if he meant 110.
No, because it says it later on.
Oh, $1,100 on a bottle this week. I don't think I can eat the rest of the month. Worth it. I'm excited to find out what kind of bottle that is. Shirky says a previous Yellowstone LE was a red wine finish that I thought tasted a little cherry pez. This is also red wine finished, Marsala Superiore. It's kind of like a more of a meatier, like full-bodied wine, kind of more earthy and, like I said, meaty. But also still has some of the fruity notes. So it's not super sweet, but it also brings some like those nice dark notes that are really good in bourbon. So, not spending. Okay, so it is a Scotch, not bourbon. You're just waiting to show Jim and Ken, I'm sure. Sure, he said you have some plain samples. You had a sample of Old Carter. Good point. That Old Carter was so good. Honestly, I'm gonna have to put that Old Carter in a blind against some of my bigger bottles for the year. I bet that would hold up really nice because that Old Carter was literally so good. I mean, this isn't Old Carter, but it's also like $90 cheaper than Old Carter, I think. So if you take that as you will, Connie Schockner in the Longest Yard Classic. The newer Longest Yard sucked.
I think it's like, isn't the Adam Sandler one funny and the original one's not? It's like
Yeah,
serious.
probably. I thought the new Longest Yard
Okay, but you've never seen
was
the
hilarious.
old one,
No,
so you
yeah.
can't, like,
I can understand
compare.
the old one was just a really good movie, and the new one's just like a stupid.
Because that's like every movie. Every time they remake
Right.
something, it's always crappy.
Especially if you remake it into something funny, when the old one was like not a funny movie. Like some people, like I could understand you just took something not funny and you made it into a big joke, and that's dumb. But without the context of seeing the first movie, the Adam Sandler version was like really, really hilarious. And as he said, my favorite sports flick ever was Major League. I'm assuming about baseball, which I've never seen that one. I like The Greatest Game Ever Played. That's a good movie. It's about golf, and I like golf.
I like a lot of movies. And I could share my opinion.
Yeah, I like a lot of movies too. What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite sports movie?
Dodge. I'm just kidding. I don't know. What movies have I seen?
I don't know. There's a lot of football ones. There's We Are Marshall. There's Remember the Titans. There's The Blind Side. The Blind Side. You know anything The Blind Side?
I've seen them all. It's just been so long.
Yeah, a lot of good football movies.
Happy Gilmore.
Adam Sandler again.
Or Waterboy. Yeah.
Waterboy.
For sure.
Waterboy is a classic. Although I think I just like Adam Sandler. I think his movies are funny.
Wow,
They're lighthearted.
Some of his movies are stupid.
Peter White makes a good point. They don't make remakes of crappy movies. You're absolutely right. If it was junk, they wouldn't have remade it. So.
Some of the movies that are classics are just kind of boring.
Crush says Sandlot. That's a really great choice. I love the Sandlot. Do you ever watch Sandlot movies?
Mm-hmm.
I thought those were so cool because, like, as like an engineer, kind of, I thought them coming up with like the ways to like get the balls and stuff, or get the ball or whatever and stuff out of the yard, like that was just so cool for me. Just watching like all the different like ways they tried to do it. I don't know. It was like basically they took what goes on inside my brain and just like put it into a movie.
Wow.
Yeah. Top Shelf Dustin says I could see putting a League of Their Own up there for.
League of Their Own is a movie.
Oh, so I was looking for something capitalized. I'm like, what? I can see putting a League of Their Own up there for sports movies. I haven't seen that one. A League of Their Own. What's that one? What sport's that one?
I think
you know? Baseball. I just wasn't a huge baseball kid, so I don't think I've seen a lot of baseball movies.
First baseball game a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now.
It was fun though. It was really cool.
It.
I don't dislike baseball. I didn't grow up on it, so. But Sandlot is a baseball movie that I can get behind. Anyways, he says, I think they just had an anniversary for Sandlot. Those kids didn't age well.
It was like last year or something like that. I saw that.
I saw the pictures of it.
A lot of people in Hollywood don't age well. Either too much Botox or too much drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Too much cocaine. I don't do cocaine.
Oh, this Yellowstone is literally so good, but the thing about this wine finish, like I said earlier, is that it's a lot more of like a meaty finish. A lot more of like
League of Their Own. Did you ever see that movie? It's got the guy from Pitch Perfect in it. And it's kind of a stupid movie. And he like is dreaming that he's dating his best friend. But she's really, in real life, marrying another guy. And he ends up meeting someone at her like party. But he always wanted to marry her. But he ends up marrying that lady. But if he was never in love with the girl, he never would have met the other girl. Okay, well, in that movie, they dress up as, like, her and her friends dress up as a girl from League of Their Own.
Is it When We First Met?
Yes.
That's got Alexandra Daddario in it.
Yeah.
And the guy from...
It's perfect. But what's his name?
I was thinking Modern Family.
Oh, yeah. What's his name?
I don't know. I just watched a movie called Jexy. It's like a smartphone thing where he's talking to it. Yeah, he was the main character. But anyway, but as I was saying, you interrupted my notes.
I'm sorry. I just was connecting things in my head.
This is like so much, like it's wine finish, but you almost don't realize it because that wine is a more earthy, dark, like meatier wine. It's got so much like leather and tobacco in it and like spice. It definitely has like a lot of like spice impact on this as well. And a lot of oak. Like this is just a really good bottle. But in terms, it's hard to place in terms of like a wine finish because there's none of that like sweet wine that a lot of people think about. A League of Their Own was about a women's league for baseball being created during World War II. Interesting. Really cool though. A League of Their Own equals Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell. Madonna was in a movie?
Yeah, Madonna's been in multiple movies.
Really?
Oh my gosh, I thought that said Tater Tots.
Tom Hanks. What about Tom Hanks?
Yeah, Tater Tots.
What about Tom Hanks?
He was probably in that movie.
Oh, in A League of Their Own. I'm going to be pulling out this bottle because I think that I can't talk about finished whiskey without talking about the finished whiskey that every beginner, noob, person who doesn't drink bourbon very often tries and wants, and that's Angel's Envy. Angel's Envy definitely was one of the ones that before I was getting into bourbon, I kind of always wanted. Hold on a second. And it's like, looking back, like trying it now, I'm slightly disappointed because obviously not like the greatest whiskey out there. However, like when I first got it, I was really amazed at it because, you know, it was Angel's Envy. The bottle's really cool. The everything about it seems really cool. It's just that it doesn't quite give you that wine finishedness that a lot of the other ones do. But
just, you know, my mom is judging us.
Your mom's judging us.
She says we haven't watched enough movies.
That's probably true. Top Shelf Dustin says, I didn't get the wine that much in that Yellowstone, and it was oddly smooth and lacking in oak versus the past Yellowstone's Ellie's I had. Good, easy drinker.
Nasty word.
Yeah, I could understand. Like I said, like, I don't think I would pick this out in a lineup to be a finished bourbon or whiskey or whatever. It's bourbon. Yeah, I don't think I would pick this out to be a finished bourbon either. Kind of like I said, it's the finish of it is so much more dark and like has a lot of those like age notes that I usually get in something like this, of like that like leather tobacco type like dark notes, less sweet. Still good nonetheless, but it's just like, yeah, it is really easy to drink-er. I do wish, like, it comes in 101 proof, so pretty low in terms of a bottle of that price point, but it was still good in my opinion. I'm glad I had the opportunity to get one and try it. So I definitely am not turned off by it. Tom Hanks, there's no crying in baseball.
Yeah, he's the one that said that.
Oh. Be More Bourbon says, I enjoy the Angel Envy cask strength much more. Honestly, man, I've wanted that bottle for so long. But, like, where has Angel's Envy been all year? They put out the ice cask finish, or like the ice cider cask finished bottle earlier, like in the beginning of the year or something. And I haven't seen a single thing. Like, I'm not talking like press releases or whatever. I'm saying I haven't seen a single person around any of the Facebook groups getting any kind of Angels Envy anything. Like, no cask strengths, no whatever. Like, a lot of people, they get the rye finished, or the finished rye, but I mean, that sits around like everywhere. I literally could go to any one of the shelves at any one of the stores I go to and get a rye finished Angel's Envy. So where's all the Angel's Envy stuff gonna be coming out? Like, I really want a cast strength Angel's Envy a lot, but you know, it is what it is. Crush says my work a couple hours overtime and pick that up if I'm still there. Oh, okay. I was like, pick up Angel Envy. What? Pick up the Yellowstone LE. Yeah, honestly, I don't think you'll regret it. It's a good bottle. So, full send if you have the money, and you're working overtime. That'll get you the money. Go ahead and buy it. Try it out. Definitely come back and let me know what you think about it. It's definitely sweeter than the last time I tried it. Do you need a pillow?
Yeah, you took me.
There's a blanket right there. Yeah, we need some better chairs, that's for sure. Channel needs some upgrades, but you know, we do what we can to give you guys some content, and just hanging out with you guys is always awesome. So we'll kill our.
I'm gonna sit on this turtle.
We'll kill our butts for you guys. Anyways, he says, I think I will pour some Glenmo 10 come 6 p.m. Yeah. How are you feeling about that Glenmo 10? I know I think you were the one who said that you weren't a huge fan of malt flavor, like the maltiness of like some scotches and stuff. I remember that one having quite a bit of malt in it, but like in a sweet way, like a sweet malt. So how are you feeling about that? Peter White says the Blood Oath bottles seem to be finished in different casks. Yeah, I've never had any of the Blood Oath, but I've definitely heard good things. I wanted this past year release. That one was finished in some kind of like apple something, or I forget what kind of cask it was finished in, but it was like an apple or pear type fruity something or another. Top Shop Dustin says Angel Envy has been cranking out those store picks lately. Yeah, I haven't seen any around Wisconsin though, unfortunately. Otherwise, maybe I would have bought one. This is definitely smelling sweeter than I remember it being. Okay, this is the thing about Angel's Envy. It does have that sweetness, that port fruity sweetness. This is finished in port casks. It's only 86 proof, 43.3% alcohol, so it's not bad. But it definitely has a lot of spice in there too, which is weird.
Spicy.
Weird coming from the wine finish.
I don't know. Everything just tastes like fall from my wine.
Yeah, but I don't know. Wine finish is kind of one of those things that it can be really hit or miss. So I think I almost got this nailed down to what I think.
But if you think
is the
about
best.
it, like wine is really hit or miss. Like bourbon can have like wine.
That's true.
Is literally like it's
wine can be.
It's watery or it's full bodied. Like there's
Right.
not like an in between.
It can be garbage wine or it can be fantastic wine, but like it all depends on the barrel. I mean, what if they got the barrel of like some actually crap wine and then that's what they finish it in? You know, maybe it ruins the bourbon. Be More Bourbon says, have you ever had any of the 4-gate finished batches? I have had no 4-gates ever, unfortunately. I wish I could. I actually think the Bourbon Junkies are coming out with a 4-gate pick, so if I could get my hands on one of them, I think that would be really cool, but I've never tried 4-gate, so no. Full Send, what is this, a Canadian Nelk video? I say Full Send a lot. I used to ride dirt bikes and stuff,
You do?
and I used to more.
You must say it with your friends.
Yeah, when I'm with my friends and we're doing stupid shit on dirt bikes and motorcycles, and we just like we look at something, we contemplate it, and then we just say Full Send and do it. So it's kind of one of those
That's
things.
like the what? Like equivalent to no balls?
No, Full Send is the equivalent to fuck it.
Oh.
Like, this may hurt, I may fuck up, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. That's what Full Send is. It's like the one guy in the snowmobile video saying, "I'm just gonna send it," and then he launches it and absolutely eats shit. You've seen that video, right?
No.
Oh my gosh, uncultured. We'll show
Sorry
you.
that I don't watch the lame old video.
Well, lame. The guy's got a freaking mullet. His snowmobile is from 1956.
You just listed off like 14 reasons why I want to watch this video.
Listen, he's got a mullet. He wears sunglasses. His snowmobile's from the 1950s, and he has this jump like 30 feet long, and he just pins it, goes off the jump, completely misses his landing, and just absolutely eats it. And then he just, like, it became a huge thing on the internet. Let me know if you guys have seen it, because honestly, it's hilarious. And then he just started doing it all the time. Like, he would just make new jumps and make new things to do, and he would just say, "It's a little cold out here, but I'm still gonna send it." And then he would just, it was just the best video
You
ever.
literally just listed off every single reason why I don't watch things.
Basically, you just listed off the fact that you hate Canadians. Why? What did Canadians ever do to you?
They do other cool things.
What, be nice?
No.
Smoke a dart?
I don't know what that means.
Have a cigarette. I'd have a dart.
No, they like go hunting.
Not all Canadians just go
And
hunting.
They have a really good maple syrup. And there's polar bears in Canada. Are you okay?
I was aerating it, and then I accidentally aerated it right down my throat.
Do you need me to help you there?
Hey, Nazy says, "Sender bud." Yeah. Don't get a 4-gate pick. Why not? Inform me, because I was gonna buy it, but if it's not,
Don't buy it.
If it's-
Don't waste your money.
well, I know that's what he said. So I'm just curious why, to make sure that I don't waste my money. Hey, Nazy says, "Mullet snow jump, like her bud." Like her bud. Like her bud. I don't know if he knows what I'm talking about, but it's a great video. If I could pull it up and show you guys, I would.
I don't want to watch it.
I don't know if this will get me demonetized, but I'm gonna see if I can just like show you guys this video here, and then if you guys can see it. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to hear it though. That's the only thing. So we're just gonna share screen, and then I'm gonna go. We're just gonna click share. Then we're gonna go here and click on this.
Keeping up a new jump here. Just gonna send it.
Oh, that's a bad one. There's a really good one where he absolutely eats it, and I just want to find that. Oh my god. I'm sorry, guys, if that was loud. Right here. Absolutely eats it. But yeah, that's kind of the whole gist of it. Just constantly crashing his snowmobile and saying he's going to send it. But yeah, I got to stop sharing the screen.
Look at how many screens are sharing. That's scary.
But yeah, so that's what I was talking about earlier. I honestly think that was hilarious. A fine show of what Canada can do. I didn't even know if he was Canadian either. He could have just been from the Midwest.
I don't like that video. And I wish I could take back the minutes that you just took from my life.
Top Shelf Justin says 4-gate picks are fine, but it's not what people who love 4-gate love about their stuff. You want a wine finish bottle, and picks are split staves. Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh.
See, so you made me watch that for no reason. Now I have to have
Blinker,
that
bud.
grade. Like a blinker? Blinker? Linker?
Like put the link in the thing.
What link?
What we just watched.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's funny.
Ah.
I think it's funny. Lauren clearly doesn't.
No. I'm so glad I'm not a boy.
But why?
Because then I'd have to watch stuff like that and laugh about it. And I just can't bring myself to do that.
But life would be so much easier. You wouldn't be cramping every month. You wouldn't have to worry about girl problems. You get to say, just gonna send it. Like, and to be fair,
that was a guy you wanted to date me.
that's true. Peter White says, if you come across Trails End 10-year Kentucky bourbon, 105 proof, finished in Oregon oak, grab it. Should be around $50 from Hood River Distillery. Where am I going to see that in Wisconsin? That sounds really interesting. But I don't know if that's something I would see in Wisconsin. Where is Hood River Distillery from, Peter? Haynes says that was a fine Canadian mullet indeed. He had the fine BC Canadian tuxedo as well. Indeed. He was, yeah, definitely a stud. Northwest Bourbon is in the house. Cheers, everyone. Cheers, Northwest Bourbon. Thanks for stopping in. You just missed an awesome video of us watching a Canadian
That
with a
wasn't
mullet.
awesome. You missed nothing.
A Canadian with a mullet jump a snowmobile and crash it after saying that he's just going to send it. But we're doing our...
I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. We're doing our last wine finish here before we kind of go over how I feel about all of the different kind of finishes in bourbons. And I think I kind of have my official opinion. But I do want to put one more into the mix because I know that this is a good one. It's going to be putting some points toward the wine finish category. So this one is the Burning Chair store pick from the wine cellar, 57% alcohol, but it's finished in Grenache barrels, Zinfandel barrels, and Cabernet Sauvignon. So definitely finished in a few different kinds of wine to add a few different kinds of flavors. And we're going to go ahead and get this one on the nose and just kind of talk about it. Okay, so right away, oh my God, what was that? Oh, it's so sweet. It smells like Smarties.
Oh my goodness.
And it's like, I love Smarties. But yeah, no, it smells like Smarties from like that point in the glass, which I'd never gotten before, but it's so much like sweetness coming from the wine. Those Grenache barrels are really offering like a lot of that like fruitiness that like, almost like you mash together like raspberries, blackberries, and like strawberries like into a fruit medley. It's really, really good. Smells fantastic, but it's kind of an unfair advantage being cast strength where none of these other options were. Peter White says it's in Oregon, whatever in Oregon. Okay. You just missed a good snowmobile snow jump, bud. Fucking A, bud. But he says he saw it, and that's all that matters. Super Dave Osborne was the best daredevil ever. Dave Osborne. Sounds familiar. Don't know if I could place his face. Like Mixed Berry Jam. Exactly like Mixed Berry Jam. Thank you. The best daredevil was Mr. Bill. Don't know him either. I don't know a lot of the stuntmen. Miss Super Dave, like the actor on Curb Your Enthusiasm as well before he died. Interesting.
I don't know these people.
Me either. A lot of people I don't know. But, all right, on the palate. Okay. What's up? This one definitely has a lot more spice characteristics coming from it. I feel like I'm getting more of like the Cab and the Zinfandel on the finish of the palate and on the palate, but on the front of the palate of this one, definitely has a lot more of that that sweet, fruity aspects, along with a little bit of like a nut, like an almondy type aspect to it. Oh, almonds. Almond.
Oh my.
Yeah, the Blue Moon ice cream. This is the Blue Moon ice cream one.
Is Blue Moon ice cream outside of the state or no?
I don't know. You guys tell me. Do you guys have Blue Moon ice cream in other states, or is it just like a Wisconsin? I think it's in other states. I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Well,
It's not
because
like
I'm
it's-
pretty sure that Blue Moon ice cream was created by Cedar Crest, which is a Wisconsin name.
Really?
Yeah.
No wonder why I'm obsessed with it. Mr. Bill equals clay figure on SNL. Oh, okay. Okay. Comedian, Daredevil. Yeah. All right. I think it's time for the closing statements about... I wouldn't necessarily say closing statements, but just kind of the final statements about how I feel about
Final thought.
finished bourbons. One thing that I didn't pull out that I can maybe pull out, no, not right now, but after I kind of go over these is I do have a rye finished in Manhattan barrels, which is a really interesting one. I know I've had it on the channel a few times, but just while I'm comparing finished whiskeys, I'd like to throw it in the mix and see how it does. But my general consensus is that the best way to finish a bourbon, in my personal opinion, is with French oak. Honestly, like, I think the French oak has the ability to round everything out and just make a freaking solid bourbon. I think that the second best is the double oaked. I think the double oak definitely has a lot to offer, but they're all kind of just like the same, more of the same, more or less. They're different, but at the same time, they all do somewhat the same thing. They're kind of just a way to sweeten and add some oak presence to maybe like a younger bottle, and kind of just get it to taste a little bit more oaky, a little bit more sweet, a little bit more sugary, which I like personally. I think that's fantastic. But there's something about the French oak staves that I really enjoy is the fact that they're like different. The Penelope Architect versus the Maker's 46 are wildly different. And then pulling out the FAE02 after, like, if I were to pull that down right now, it would be different. They all kind of hold the same kind of like vanilla creamy note that I usually get, and like a little bit of floralness, but they also add a lot of other really cool aspects, which I really like. So,
Is it me?
mhm.
What flavors are on that
So
one?
I think good flavors. I think that like French oak is probably the best. Double oak being second best, and the only reason I'm putting wine finish in last place is because of what Lauren and I kind of talked about earlier. I think that the wine finish is almost more hit or miss. There's the potential to have some very good wine finishes, but there's also the potential that you can just have something mediocre that just doesn't quite add a whole lot to it, and it just makes it taste almost more like wine than it does bourbon. And I think that is really taking away. I mean, don't get me wrong, these are all so freaking fantastic.
Fantastic.
Like I said, I don't really buy whiskeys I don't necessarily enjoy, so
That is true. Every single one that you've had besides the Angel Envy, you always you enjoy.
and even this I don't dislike.
But you would never reach for that.
Yeah, I'm just severely disappointed in it after having a bunch of other ones. Going back to it, it's not as good as I had originally thought. But yeah, no, I do love all of these, and it's more of a fact that I think the French oak, what people are doing with French oak, is makes it more of like an interesting try than it does with these other kind of finishing. But that's just my opinion, guys. Honestly, and that opinion can change day to day. Like I said, I actually have more of a profile that enjoys the double oak. I just think that the double oak almost is generic for me. I think if you like one double oak, you're gonna like all double oaks for the most part. There's always exceptions to everything, but I feel like the French oak staves can really be different in a lot of different ways. Same with the wine finish, but the wine finish is definitely a lot more hit or miss. So, hey, Z says, "Do I have a snow sled?" Yes, no, I did. I crashed it. I was going like 60 miles an hour, and the trail had a big dip in it, and I didn't see it because the sun was setting. It was like glistening over the trail. It made it look like ice. And so like I was going 60, and then all of a sudden like I fell into this crater, and then I jumped up, and then I flew through the air, and then rolled it like 6 times and completely totaled it. It was destroyed. But I was fine. I just got up. It wasn't completely destroyed because I actually rode it home from that point. I was only like 5 minutes away from my house, but this track was definitely scraping the radiator underneath the seat. So there was that. But yeah, we call them snowmobiles or just sleds in Wisconsin. But
I've never ridden one.
they're fun. They're definitely fun. They're just really expensive.
ATV.
The thing about snowmobiles is they're expensive to get on. They're expensive to pay for, both maintenance, gas, and any kind of like fixing. And they're the most dangerous when it comes in terms of the actual vehicle itself. Because when you're riding in snow, and granted, a lot of people, they prefer to ride on the trails, which understandable, but my version of snowmobiling is doing some off-trail, doing some like stupid hooligan stuff, going off some jumps and like big snow banks and like in the ditches. Like that's what I really like to do. It makes it more fun. And you don't know if there's a stump, a culvert, a pole, a giant rock. Literally, you can just like absolutely smash something and total the snowmobile in a split second just because you can't see
big
it.
Tires. So
Yeah.
You can just pop instead of running.
Right. So, and it really does just total them all. So I like snowmobiles, and I used to have one, but I don't anymore. And I don't think I would buy one because they're just too damn expensive.
I'm gonna go get more wine.
Okay. Peter White says that sounds like a double rye High West. Yes, it was indeed a double rye High West, or it is a double rye High West. Dustin says, I strongly disagree with lumping proper finishing with the wine, rum, etc. With staves and double oaking and toasted barrels. So Top Shelf says we need to group them in different ways to avoid confusion. Okay, I mean, yeah, I was doing more of a generic thing only because I don't have... If I had the bottles to really group these in like hardcore groups, I would. But yes, these are finished with staves. The French oak ones are finished with staves, which allows for a little bit more of like a blending and stave profile, darker char in some and lighter char in the others, and add a lot of stuff. Whereas a wine finish or a double barrel, you're just putting it all in a whole new barrel. And a double oak is just an oak barrel, so it's all adding its oak, and this is just adding wine. So I understand what you mean when you say this is a huge variety of whiskeys. The finished whiskey category is literally huge with a bunch of different subcategories. I just think that generalization of it, because of the lack of bottles that I have to compare, these are like the majority of my finished bourbons. So I really did compare just about everything I had here.
Are you sure?
Well, I mean, for the most part, I mean, I have some other stuff, but it's just like that one up there.
The alcohol. It's really hot. Be careful.
No, I think it's fine. But yeah, no, I think that you're right. It is an overgeneralization. However, it's kind of made for a fun experiment and kind of a cool talking subject. I definitely would love to hear what you guys think about the different finishes. Which one you guys like the best? Do you guys like French oak finishing? I think that one's kind of one of the more controversial ones because some people really hate when things are finished with French oak staves. But I don't. I like it. But at the same time, I know some people, like, I think ADHD Whiskey isn't always a fan of double oaks and toasted barrels. So, yeah. Peter White says, High West Rendezvous Rye Barrel Select 107 proof pick. Hungarian cask finish was incredible. Lot 40 cask strength. French oak was meh. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's exceptions to everything. Honestly, like, this is like one of the more, I don't know how you would say, like, experimental and controversial topics because of the fact that all I have are these bottles that I can experiment. And I know for a fact that there are some wine finishes that'll blow the rest of these completely out of the water. And I also know that there are some double barrel finishes that do the same thing. There's always going to be exceptions. Like this versus this, like that's two completely different categories of whiskey. I mean, it's not even close. But yet I place them both under wine finished bourbons. And then even this and the Penelope, this is a limited release of a specially blended to taste fantastic versus this is just a mainstay on the shelf 24/7 bottle that you can get whenever you want. The toasted barrels, obviously, this one's a lot harder to find, but they are both supposed to be kind of a mainstay type deal. So yes, with the High West Rendezvous versus a Lot 40 cask strength, I could totally see the Rendezvous being better than the Lot 40, although I've never had Lot 40, so that would be one I'd be interested in. Northwest Bourbon says, top shelf, I agree. The process and the outcomes are both very different, so the term should also be regarding finishing in a different barrel versus staves. Yeah, and that's true because there's one thing about finishing it in a barrel where that barrel has the notes that barrel has versus finishing with staves and different stave profiles. You know, the more you toast one, you can put a super heavily charred one, a lightly toasted one, and then a medium one. And then you're going to get the notes from the heavy char and the light char and the medium char versus if you just had a single barrel with all of them in it. So definitely you guys are absolutely right about that. I really did just group these all together just to for the sake of the video and just the experiment. I really wanted to like compare what these were. So Isaiah V says, cheers, y'all. Cheers, Isaiah. So, thanks for stopping in here. I mean, it's not just that. We should separate finishing in another product and using different oak, I guess. And just using a different oak, I guess. True. I know that the new thing is kind of turning toward like Mizunara cask, or what is that new thing Barrel's doing or something that's some kind of like Japanese, some kind of Japanese oak finish, something or another. It's definitely like there's too many to really categorize the amount of like things that are happening in here. A toasted barrel was just made for that one use. True. It's basically like a bourbon barrel, freshly charred, and just added in here. Freshly charred, so freshly charred in a new barrel, and then another new barrel charred or toasted and into that one. So, yeah, I mean, you guys make some wonderful points. For example, cheers, Mark. You might use that sherry, but 3 or 4 times. Yeah, and then each time you use it, it will have less of that sherry flavor, or those sherry notes than the first time.
What does sherry taste like?
Sherry's a wine.
I know it's a wine. I've had it, but only in like cooking.
I've never had it in a bourbon. Or in a glass. I would love that. We should find some.
Sherry was what was inside of the turtle soup we tried.
Ooh, yeah. I know that sherry cask finished stuffs are usually a lot.
They're good with
really
food,
good.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, in the bourbon world, you're totally right that bourbon distillers consider all this finished. I don't like that they do that, but it's a complaint with the industry. Yeah, it's just
not
like
the video.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
No,
is that what the argument is?
I think so. No, it's I think
not argument.
I'd rather just have bourbon aged fully in French oak barrel. Forget finishing. Just use it instead of an American oak. See, the thing that I'm worried about with that, I don't know how good that would be. I feel like
you never know until you try it.
Okay, but the thing is, there's an American white oak shortage.
Yeah, I know.
Like a huge white oak shortage, and I feel
bug, right? Or the bird, the bug or the bird. Yeah.
I think, and I feel like because of that shortage and because of the fact that the people are finishing with French oak staves, I feel like by now someone would have tried to age something in French oak, like in a whole French oak barrel. I don't see why they wouldn't have. So the fact that we haven't seen or tasted one, it scares me because what if it just is really, really fucking bad? And like I hope it's good. I hope it's not bad. I hope it's or at least interesting or something. And I 100% agree with you. It would be really cool to get a whole barrel of French oak and age it in there rather than American oak. But yeah, I think you would think they would have done it by now.
He says that there's a lot of them and that they're good. So maybe you just don't know that they were. You know what I mean?
Hold on. But you got me thinking. I have a Founders KBS. And he said, like bourbon standalone, and it is in the rules. Yeah, I like how bourbon has so many rules. I like how they have to call out when it's finished and stuff. It can't be bourbon when it's finished and stuff. I think that's really cool. But I agree. I mean, these are all really good points. And he says, I like all the flavored whiskey at the store. Ew. Yeah, no, flavored whiskey can be some pretty raunchy stuff.
The first time I went out to the bars, when I was in college after I turned 21, we all took shots of all the different old smoky flavors, and they're literally just like so gross. Like they're just sweet and gross.
Oh,
Because they're so sweet. Like the salted
Yeah.
caramel one, it probably would taste good in a shot with something else to dilute it, but just as a shot by itself,
overly sweet.
it's just like
I agree. That's
Yeah.
why I almost can't do the Crown Apple straight anymore because it literally tastes like pure sugar,
Mhm.
and then
But like it would taste. It's gonna taste great in our Halloween shots that we're gonna make.
True. No, we use salted caramel on that one.
I know, but we have that. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what we use.
Top Drop Dustin said, I do one grouping. Used wood. US used wood with no former spirit, and then another group you used wood that is aged in something else. So, yeah. So I guess kind of like a fresh barrel versus a finishing barrel or stuff like that. I agree. I mean, these are all great ideas. Not that the TTB or whoever makes the rules is going to come onto my live stream and listen to it, but that'd be great if they did. I definitely think we're making some good points.
Video might get up there one day.
Dustin says sherry you'd like should be more dessert.
Ooh. Okay, if there's anything about me, is I love a good sweet dessert.
I love ports.
Not super sweet though, because we've had some sweet ones that I like literally can't even drink. Remember?
True, but I think this is probably sweeter more on the lines
This
of
one's
like a
this
port.
one's tastes like apple crisp. Is what it tastes like. And warm because you're supposed to heat it up. It's really yummy.
Yeah.
Tastes 1,000 times better hot too.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I love port wines because there's like a desserty sweet, and mainly because of like the body,
thicker,
the
yeah.
body and the viscosity of it. That's why I like port wines.
See, and I'm not a big port wine person. What is a frost? Those ice wines. What are the difference?
Ice wines are like.
Are those aged in like cold?
No, I think that they're made from frozen grapes.
Oh.
Like the grapes are frozen and then like
'Cause those are
mashed up
good.
or something. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's a Wisconsin.
yummy.
Like
I don't think so. I don't think it's Wisconsin.
well, I don't think it came from like.
Well, Alaska's
Italy.
cold.
Well, I know, but I mean like I'm saying like I don't think it came from the other side of the
Oh, well, maybe.
water. I guess I don't really know.
We'll
about
find
ice
out when we
wines.
go to Italy.
Dustin says there's plenty of French oak aged bourbons. They're great. I've never heard of them, but I'd love to try one. It's extremely expensive versus American oak, which would make sense why nobody does it. Like Japanese oak, how many oak trees are left over there? The U.S., the U.S., and maybe Canada are the only oak that is semi-sustainable at this point. Interesting.
I think that was an important comment.
If the oak trees don't all burn up every summer in Canada, that's a good point. It is a concern. Niagara region has a shit ton of ice wine.
See, yeah. Well, maybe it is just like colder. I guess you're right. It snows in Italy, so it's got to get cold enough.
True. I mean, I could understand it being in Canada. I just don't know. Like
I don't know, but I like those. I mean,
well,
all the
yeah,
ones
they're
I've
super-
had, I've
it's
liked.
because they're sweet, but they're more like light fruit, like apple, pear, like crisp,
Yeah,
like
and I like
that kind of
stuff.
sweetness, rather than like a super dense, like chocolatey.
I don't like
syrup-
chocolate when
syrupy.
it's chocolatey. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like alcohol chocolate.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is just kind of like a really interesting experiment. And I think if you guys have some Finnish whiskeys, I definitely think you guys should just kind of sit down, go through them, kind of like pick them apart. It's certainly interesting, especially to me, all the different kind of finishes that come through. Starting with these double oaks and then moving on to like French oak finish and while they probably could have a better system, it still is interesting. And all the different things that they can even do with bourbon. You know, bourbon having so many laws, you know, the age statements and the new white American oak barrels and that kind of stuff. Like, to make bourbon and then finish it in something and kind of like follow the lines of like what Scotch can do and like other kinds of whiskeys, I think that's really cool. Dustin says, I got a Buffalo Trace experimental French oak 10-year-old bourbon, which That sounds awesome. And also an Old Carter French Oak. And then St. Cloud has some super young
Holden wants to come over.
French Oak bourbons, available but expensive. Interesting. I think I've seen St. Cloud before. Definitely, obviously, have never seen the Buffalo Trace one. And I have never actually seen any Old Carter in real life before, apart from the awesome Batch 9. I think it was Batch 9 that Sugar Kitty had sent me, which tasted fantastic. But that wasn't finished in anything, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was.
You're right, because it was only one of them was finished.
Only one of them was finished, and it was a High West Double Rye. But Peter White says, Writer's Tears in Inniskillen.
It's Charter, not Carter Holden. Gosh, get your shit together. Are you okay? Do you need help?
Wow. How many times have I said Old Carter?
Oh, yeah, quite a bit. You did a whole video.
The funny thing, the funny thing is, I always knew that there was a CH in it. Even when I wrote it down, I always write it with a CH. But for some reason, I pronounce it Old Carter instead of Old Charter.
You're having an epiphany?
No, wait, hold on. Is there two different...
Hold on.
Actually, I think there's two different...
Hold on, I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, see, this is Old Carter.
Yeah, Old Carter.
Okay, so Old Charter is different.
Okay, but let's look up.
Oh, man. Dustin, you got me running around.
Okay, Old Charter is Buffalo Trace, though. See?
Oh.
So, but that one's not. That one over there isn't.
Okay. It's another Buffalo Trace brand, impossible to get. Old Carter is another brand that is what you had. Okay. Yes, two different labels. Yes. Dustin, thank you.
Thank God we have other people because we don't work together on this show.
Yeah.
I've had some wine today. And I don't drink bourbon, so that's my excuse. I don't know what yours is.
My excuse, I knew Old Charter was a thing. Yeah, I knew Old Charter was a thing. I just didn't.
I never saw that at Sazerac. I didn't see that anywhere.
It's because I think it's an experimental line.
I know, but they had...
Sazerac House had, like... They didn't really have any of the experimental stuff. Because Buffalo Trace actually has a lot of, like, different things that they do. But Sazerac House only had, like, their important mainstay, like, super cool stuff.
Okay, but most of those weren't important or mainstays. They were just, like, random craps. Remember? Okay.
Wasn't trying to be difficult. No. I definitely am glad that you cleared that up for me because I was very confused. The PVW 23 is easier. Pappy Van Winkle 23 is easier to find than that French Oak Old Charter. Pappy 23 is way easier to get.
Well, that's good news.
That said, Jason from Ash and Drum got the Old Charter for $300-ish. He probably can't get a Pappy. Interesting. Where did you get the Old Charter? Because I doubt I would ever see it. I mean, I can't even find Old Rip 10, or I haven't even seen an Eagle Rare in the wild before. There's one Eagle Rare that I had. I literally got from a subscriber, and I bought it from him. He didn't even send it. I mean, he sent it, but I paid for it. So it's not like, you know what I mean? Like I had to like send people out to search for that bottle. But anyway, yes, I did. I hope I can find some allocated stuff this season. I really want the Makers Finish series. The one I want the most is the Wild Turkey Unforgotten. I think that one's definitely number one on the. It's out. Jason from the Mash and Drum somehow gets everything super fast all the time, but he already has it and reviewed it.
Where is he? Where is
Kentucky,
it at?
or he's in.
Is it just
no,
out
he's in
Kentucky?
a state that starts with an A.
Alabama.
No.
Arizona.
No.
Arkansas.
He likes the. No, he's in Georgia. Wait. No.
Okay.
I don't know. I forget where he's from. Alabama? Maybe it is Alabama.
I said Alabama.
I know you did. But he also has literally everything. So another one that I really want is the Four Roses limited edition. I think I actually have a pretty decent chance of getting that one. I thought about doing the Knob Creek 18 year, but I saw mixed reviews. Some people liked it, some people didn't.
So it's like Dublin, but spelled weird.
Oh,
I don't like it.
I guess he's in Ohio.
Were
Doesn't
you
he
thinking
root?
Ohio?
Doesn't he root for? No, Arizona. No, Atlanta. Atlanta's in Georgia,
Atlanta,
right?
Georgia.
He always roots for the Atlanta Falcons and the Georgia Bulldogs. I thought.
Maybe,
I guess that maybe he grew up there. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Or maybe he just really likes Georgia. Some people just.
That's true. Anyway, sorry. I had the Old Charter at a tasting. I've had some store owners just open their one bottle of Old Charter, pour it for me. Good to know people. Yeah, I definitely am on the younger side of things, so it's hard getting all those relationships with those people. But like, I am slowly working my way there. I have some people that I have the relationships, and they help me out with stuff. So I think that's cool. Dustin says I never owned one and never had it. So. Mashing Drums in Ohio, but that's not where he gets his stuff. In Ohio, yeah, no, he's big. He's one of the top, probably 5. Definitely top 5 in size wise. So he's like, he'll get stuff sent to him all the time, even from the distilleries. The distilleries send him their limited editions. Imagine being that big that their distillery that normal people have to hunt or overnight camp for in front of the distillery, and he just gets it mailed to his house for free.
Go camp.
No, people do that.
I just.
Yeah. Top Shelf Dustin says, yeah, Dublin, Ohio, and just north of Columbus. I can't spell. Yeah. So he definitely gets some good stuff. Anyway, yeah, I think that the Four Roses I have a good chance of getting. The Knob Creek 18 year is $180. So
Ooh, so he's not gonna be buying that.
Yeah, that one's a more pricey one. Well, the Four Roses Limited is 100 and some too, but I know the Four Roses is usually like super like best of the year type quality whiskey. So yeah, but overall the Wild Turkey Unforgotten, that's $200. But it comes in a really.
Just go out spending my
but
money
it
on
comes
stuff
in
that
a really
I don't
cool.
even drink.
It comes in a really cool box. And it's not your money; it's my money.
It's gonna be my money.
Yeah, it's gonna be your money that comes out of my paycheck.
Okay, well, you know what? You have to pay for stuff too.
He's from New York, but he's a Falcon fan. No clue. Okay, I knew he was a Falcon
fan. You know what?
fan.
Who's he gonna like in New York?
He's
I guess the fucking Giants, since they can beat the Packers.
Yeah, screw the Giants. Jason is originally from Long Island. You can kind of tell by that accent. Yeah, you're right. I never even thought about it like that. He's a transplanted New Yorker. But he's not. Yeah, the Wild Turkey wasn't free. That much I knew. But he does get stuff from. I know he gets stuff from some people.
Is it Michter's?
Dear God, I hate him, but yes, he does. He passed on the 18 year. You can see my review on the Knob 18. It's a pass. Yeah, I'll definitely have to watch it. By the way, guys, any kind of my mods, guys, if you're still in the chat, please link everyone's channels in the description. To Dustin and Northwest Bourbon and who am I missing here? Anyone else? Any other channels in the chat? Please, everyone, go subscribe to them. Also, if you guys haven't liked the video yet and you're still here, please hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel. And anyway, yes, I will definitely be watching the Knob 18 review of yours. I definitely want to know what you think. Jake is in the house. Cheers, Jake. Welcome to it. Thanks for stopping in. You're not too late. Almost, but I can kind of. I'll do a closing.
I'm ready to go to bed.
Yeah, I'll do a closing statement here before the stream's over, just to kind of give you a follow up on everything that happened. But who knows how much you saved me on the KC18 since it's not arrived yet. Yeah.
Well, is it that bad?
No, it's not bad. It's just 18 years old, and everyone thought the 15 was already oaked, like really oaky, and so an extra 3 years.
$200.
Yeah, between the price and the it also it's only 100 proof, So
So it's just me.
yeah. But the thing is,
So it probably would have been good if it wasn't $180.
It's Bourbon Night. They were like a meh.
Mm-hmm.
The Bourbon Junkies literally praised that bottle. Like they were like literally gave it like an A+ and an A, which is like a really good score for them. But other people like Dustin and I have heard other people say that it wasn't their favorite. So I guess I know taste is subjective. So he says not 18 is great, but get a 15. We'll have a 15 review coming up very shortly with a few notes on 18 verse 15 in it. Interesting. I'll definitely have to watch it, man. Now the 18 isn't over oaked at all, man. It's just not wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So yeah, I think it's hard. It's hard to spend $180 on a whiskey that's not going to be a wow whiskey. So understandably, I could see why maybe I wouldn't want to buy it, but yeah. That being said, guys, I think it is time to wrap this up. He says, if you spend $200 on whiskey all day, every day, get the Knob 18. Well, I don't because I'm broke, but if I did, I would definitely get it. I love the Knob Creek 12, if that has any consolation. But Peter White says, I do not mind the KC 15 at all. George T. Stagg is 15, 16 years old, and no one is complaining about oak. True. I guess the only people I've really seen complaining about the oak is actually it's Bourbon Night, and the only reason their reviews stick so much in my mind is because I know them to be beam lovers. They love Bookers and Knob Creeks and all that kind of stuff. So whenever there's one of those, I usually watch their reviews on it to kind of get like just because I know that they love the beam profile, and I too love the beam profile, love my Bookers and like that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I definitely watch a lot of them. So it sticks out when I hear bad things more than when I hear good things. Yeah, passing because I do have a budget. So the 18 was decent, but I don't think it was worth that much more than 15 for price. I mean, realistically, it's not a bad price being $10 or even less than $10 a year because I think some places had it for 170, but. The Knob 15 was weird. There were some really bad bottles and really good ones. So a bad blend, I guess. I saw and passed on, unfortunately, today a Russell's single barrel store pick.
Why didn't you get it?
I didn't get it because it was from Festival, and not that they pick bad store picks. I have 2 from them. It's just that I think what's going to happen is all the stores in the area are going to get some store picks of it recently. And I know that the Bourbon Junkies are... Well, yeah, but... because I know he picks good stuff, but also just because I think I'll have multiple opportunities to buy it. Plus, I think the Bourbon Junkies are also getting theirs. I know they have some good palettes, so I'm sure theirs would be good too if I could get a bottle of it. Might get sold out right away, but... yeah, I really want Russell's store pick. Those are really good. If you got a good 15, you got a winner. Yeah, I saw 15 last year on the shelf, and it was the same day that I had bought this Booker's, which I had gotten overpriced, but it was my favorite Booker's. So
wait, this was the first one though.
The first one, yes.
Well, we got that from the Festival.
Yeah,
which is normally
overpriced. Yeah, and I bought this and the Redwood Empire Grizzly Beast in the same day, so I'd spent like $150 or like $160 or something. And then I went to Woodman's later that day, and I saw the Knob Creek 15 for like $130 or whatever it was, and I was just like, I can't spend $300 on whiskey in one day, so I'm just not gonna buy it. But I always looked at it and I always almost regretted it, but. You know, you can only buy so many bottles. You bought 3 Knob Creek 15s. Wow. So I really should have bought one. Nice, I got an OG 15 release batch 001, and I got it for $90. Wow, that's really good. I don't think I've seen them that cheap. I picked up 2 Knob Creek 12 years. Good stuff. Yeah, I love the Knob Creek 12. Knob Creek 12 is top tier stuff. I love that stuff. Top tier. But yeah, I think in terms of finishing, I think it's almost time to wrap up this video. But first, I want to go like this and go like that. And then Jake kind of gave you a wrench. And if you could post these guys' channels in the comments, you do the thing, put their links in there so everyone can go and subscribe. I'm sure that they already are because, you know, tight-knit community. But yeah, and I'm also gonna go like this. You're here often, so yeah, you guys definitely post on the links to everyone's channels. I want to see you guys getting some followers, even though you're probably not gonna get any from me because I definitely don't. I mean, you never know, but I definitely don't have probably as much as you guys. But Jake says the Woodman's pick on the Driftless Glen was freaking stellar. That's awesome to hear, man. I'm glad to hear it. I think Woodman's probably has some really good picks. They definitely pick a lot of bottles. I've had some of their picks before. They're really good. So I have no doubt that if they were to get like a Russell's pick, that it would be really good. I'd probably buy it from them. And they always have it on a good price. And Top Shelf says on the back end. It was finishing this one. Knob Creek 12 also has some batch issues, but yeah, it's bitter and sour versus 15-year on the back end. So, Sure Kitty says Knob Creek 15 for me is 110. Sam Houston I haven't seen, but Calumet 15 was 140, and KC 12 is 60. My Calumet 15 was 110. That's what I got my Calumet 15 for, and the Knob Creek 12 for me, I paid 70, I think. 60 or 70, it was close to there, but for the 12, sorry, for the Knob Creek 12, the 15 I think was like 130 for me, and that's why I didn't buy it. Thank you, Jack, for posting that. Biking Bourbon, cheers! Catching the end of the stream. Thanks for stopping in.
We're talking about Woodman's. You would know what that is, probably.
Yeah, there's a Woodman's over by him. Yeah, he was. It started with an M. It was by Milwaukee. Was that what it is? Menominee Falls, I think so.
There's one out.
Yes. Man, 115 for Calumet 15, or 110 for Calumet 15 is killer. Absolutely. I
think you paid 114 for it.
Oh, 110, 114, same difference. $4
same
difference.
Shit, but...
yeah, no, I agree. That was I was so happy when I got that. Paid 130 for it for Sam Hill 15. Or Sam Hill. Sam Houston 15. Sure Kitty says I get Knob Creek single barrel store picks that are 11 years, 6 months for $48. Best buy for me. I think all the store picks that I've seen from Knob Creek in my area were almost around that 9 or 10 year range, so they didn't quite go up to that year. I did just get a Four Roses that was 11 years and 7 months single barrel. It was an
from Woodman's.
OESV from Woodman's, and it's really freaking good. So there's that. Ooh, $199 Canadian, and Sam Houston cost me $100 US. Interesting. 115 is still great for the Calumet 15. Yes, and indeed, I think so too. I haven't seen a 10-year Knob Creek pick in a few years. Me either. I think the one that we normally see are 9. Otherwise, maybe a 10-year. I can't remember. I don't think it ever gets quite up to 10 years. I think it's like 9 years and some months, but I don't think it ever crosses the 10 years, but it gets close. When the Calumet 15 came along, the Cal 14 went down, and the Cal 16 came, and the 15 went down. If you're a patient, a Cal 15 can be about 115 around. Yeah. So I wanted to get the Calumet 16. I just didn't because it was expensive for me. I think it was...
Remember, you got the Calumet 15 the same time the Calumet 16 came out. That's why the Calumet 15 was so cheap. And you wanted the Calumet 16 because the Bourbon Junkies had just done it. But
well, not only the Bourbon Junkies.
No, but you're talking about the store. And it was just so much more expensive than the 15, so you just decided to get the 15. I remember this entire conversation at Total Wine.
No, they didn't have the 15 and 16 when I bought the 15.
Are you sure?
They had the 14 and the 15.
Okay.
And the 15 they said the 15 was better, and that's the one I bought. As you guys can see, I do take the Bourbon Junkie's word pretty gospel. Northwest Bourbon says, cheers, Jack. Appreciate it. Yes, definitely, guys. If you guys are...
Oh, he's talking about hockey. Me and Holden were thinking about getting into hockey.
Hockey opening night, who's watching? I would love to watch hockey.
Because I don't really understand it, but we kind of think we want to get into it because there's like the Gamblers in Green Bay, which is like a minor league. So like it's cheap, it's super cheap to get tickets, but it's just something for us to do.
Yeah.
And like, but we don't understand hockey, so we're gonna have to figure this out.
Yeah, I would definitely love to get into hockey. Northwest Bourbon is doing a live stream Distiller's Perspective interview on Thursday, so everyone make sure you guys go check out his live stream on Thursday. I can't. Wait,
depends on what time it is because on Thursday we have to do church classes.
Yes. Which it probably will be at night during the Jesus hours of the day, but everyone else can make sure.
Out of?
Airs or southwestern part of the states, I think.
Oh, so it's our time. That makes sense, Northwest.
Or oh wait.
Okay, in our time zone.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for.
Okay. Hockey opening night. Oh wait, I read that already. I keep seeing 9 year and X months here. Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying too. So. All right, County Event 16 is pretty good. Yeah, I've literally heard nothing but amazing things on the Cal 16. 14 had a dirt note to it, couldn't take it. Yeah, I heard the 14 wasn't as good, so I didn't buy it. The 15 though, super cherry. Definitely has like all the cherry notes that I love. All right, I think it's time, guys, for us to
I need some food.
Close it. Yeah, despite being in the office 4 times in 3 years. Oh, that's pretty nice. Okay. Final recap. I think that French oak, can change the most or give you the most variety of things. But as we were talking about earlier, a lot of it might have to do with the fact that you can add different staves and different profiles with different chars, and you can decide how much you add and whatever, versus a double oak finishing it in an entire barrel and the wine. But I did say that French oak, I think, was my favorite, and double oak would be second, and then wine finish would be last for me. I think the wine finish is hit or miss. Some of them are fantastic. Some of them, they're just okay. They're mediocre. They're not blow your socks off. I think the double oaked kind of all do pretty much the same thing. Super sweet, super viscous, toasted marshmallow notes and syrup, maple syrup and all that kind of stuff. So overall, this was a really fun kind of experiment, and I'm glad you all were here watching and talking through it with me. Kind of just a fun little get together on different things to do. So that being said, cheers everybody. Thanks for all stopping in here. Here's a glass, a clink. And don't spill it. Thanks you all for stopping in. Thank you all for stopping in. Please hit the like button. Also, if you guys aren't subscribed, please do so. That helps me a lot. And thank you all for stopping in. We'll see you all in the next class. Ooh, good one right off the bat.
She was crisp.
Nice. Cheers, everybody.